Thank you. So again, thank you so much for getting on to today's advanced session. We'll be covering the Pages app on your iPad. I'm gonna go ahead and read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile and device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see me or hear me or see the screen, please send something in the chat. We'll learn how to do that in a second, but I'd really appreciate that. In order to keep meetings organized and, just to have some type of etiquette, right? We just want to know how to raise our hands. You do that by tapping more at the top right and then tapping raise hand. If I physically raise my hand like this, y'all, even though we have 20 folks in the call, but not everyone's going to be able to see that, right? So we need to be able to virtually raise our hand by using this method. So I want everyone in Zoom right now to raise their hand. Then you tap more, the top right, and then you tap raise hand. Again, you guys are the creme de la creme coming on so early, so I want to see a lot of hands up. Come on now. Again, if you can see me or hear the screen, hear these instructions, you're ready to learn and see some new information and be excited. So I really want everyone to raise their hand. So that way, if you have a question or a comment or a concern, anything, we'd love to hear from you. So that way, we can make this as, fulfilling experience as possible because we only have, so much time together, right? So we want to make the best of it. So thank you to the 10 of you that have already raised your hand. Your efforts are not unnoticed. Again, can we, we're already at 50%, so thank you so much for that. Let's see if we can get to at least 75. So a couple more hands. Again, if you can see the screen, hear these instructions, I want you to raise your hand in Zoom by tapping more and then raise hand. And again, I know the order that you guys raised your hands, if you did or not. So it's really important to utilize this feature, especially if you have a question, okay? But again, thank you to those, excuse me, that have raised their hands. Your efforts are not unnoticed. I would like everyone to lower their hand in Zoom by hitting lower at the bottom. Then it will say your hand is raised and it will say lower. So that's how you can quickly lower your hand in Zoom, okay? So again, once we're done answering your question or the presenter is done answering your question, please lower your hand. So that way we can, help or assist the next person. So again, we still have 4 hands up. I want everyone to lower their hands, please. You'll see it says your hand is raised at the bottom and then it will say lower. So I want everyone to lower their hand, please. Other than that, we're gonna also want to be able to use the chat. So if you want to communicate with others non-verbally, the chat is a great way to share a greeting, like a hello or good morning, hope you had a great weekend, ask a question, congratulate or encourage others. You do that by tapping more, then chat, instead of raise hand, right? And then you tap on tap here to chat. So that way you can type your message. And when you do that, you send it using the blue button on the right-hand side. So I want everyone in Zoom to please send a chat. Utilize emojis. You can add a picture or file if you want using the plus button. Again, just a simple hello is wonderful. When you get onto the Zoom, I encourage you all just to go to the chat and say hello. And you may never know whose day you might make, right? So I love all the chats. Thank you. Both Miss Marys, thank you for your kind messages. I love the emojis, Teresa. Yes. And I'd like to wish you all a happy National Sock Day, as you can see in my background, also in our daily emails. Make sure you check out our daily emails. You'll see a brand new highlight of the week. If you You know, if you guys opened today's email, hope you enjoyed just this December fun facts, learned something new. But as you can see, today is again National Sock Day, especially because it's winter, we need them socks. So again, I want everyone to send a chat in Zoom, not just today's session or our wild text sessions, but any Zoom session that you attend. Make sure you utilize the chat and the raise hand feature to make the most of your experience on here. So thank you to all of the those that sent a chat. It was lovely to read it. And I'll, you know, always look at the chat during every session that I'm on. So continue to use the chat. Love to see it. Oh yeah, Teresa. I went to sock hops in middle school. First time I seen it, I was like, "What is a sock hop?" But today we'll be covering, you know, just an introduction of pages and, you know, what are word processing applications? Like, what actually are they? We'll be going into the Pages app and learning how to navigate it. Again, some basics on what you can do when creating a document, for example. And then last but not least is our good old overview and discussion and talk about how word processing apps can improve our daily life. So again, first up, our Pages introduction. So I have two videos for you guys. One, again, just literally what is word processing, and then sort of a fun throwback video from the 70s on how, you know, word processing, you know, came to be and to look at a little bit of that history. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos. So again, first, just a basic video on what is word. So what is word processing? Is the creation, editing, and printing of documents. So it's the process of putting words and other images and files onto a document to share and edit and create. Yeah, the advantage of using a word processor is that documents can be combined and edited without having to retype. Because if you were physically writing out the same document twice, you would literally have to write out each document twice, right? There's no way around it. But you know, with word processing, with a virtual document, you can then duplicate it, you can copy it, paste, all that stuff, without having to go through that time and effort to rewrite what you are writing. So that is a huge advantage of using a word processor or a document creation app. It allows us out shapes, tables, images, lots of other files and documents. And of course, it's used in everyday life, like business, home, education, journalism, publishing, literacy, artists, any, you know, every field uses some kind of word processor to share information and to create documents, you know, write-ups, agreements, all everything. So it's become a very important and vital part of our daily life. Yep, you can modify text. You see the text changed a little bit from this, let's see, from over here. You see the font, the type of text is different. You can change that here in the document. Yeah, that looks a little more, you know, cartoonish. And of course, there are many advantages to using word processing because you can become very, very creative. So yes, there are, you know, with word processing, you are able to, you know, start with the basics like images and word art and tables. And as you become more advanced, you'll become, you know, accustomed to more advanced features like something called mail merge and more advanced formatting options. But again, that's just very simple word processing. It just allows you to create, edit, and share documents virtually. So I hope that was helpful. The next video what is word processing? But we're going to look at it from 1975 at IBM. So this is just more fun in to see a little throwback on how things used to be, and to think about how far we've come. So I hope you guys enjoy this video as well. What is word processing?
With growth and change has come more paperwork, bigger word loads, more memos, more reports, more proposals to dictate and type.
This is from 1975.
But until recently, the way we handled those growing mountains of paperwork had not changed. Essentially, we handled it pretty much the same way Great Aunt Hattie did. Of course, there have been a few doodads, but for some reason, and no one knows quite why, technology has, for the most part, bypassed the office. So it's still like an old-fashioned Victorian family, life with father, complete with domestic servants, typing, retyping, revising, erasing, getting coffee, and wrapping anniversary presents. Doing all those little gopher duties. Somehow, in this modern world with its pace, its demands for accuracy, and its sophistication, there's got to be a better way for millions of offices, millions of bosses, and millions of secretaries. And there is. A whole new dictating and typing technology is moving into the old-fashioned office. It speeds the flow of words and information. It improves accuracy and quality while it cuts the waste of executive and secretarial time. And it's called word processing. Today, word processing specialists and equipment often can produce 4 times as much work, print over 200 perfect lines a minute, memorize thousands of paragraphs, and retrieve them at a moment's notice. Align those pesky decimal points, reset margins and format in an instant, correct whole pages with the touch of a button. And wonder of wonders, word processors will never have to erase again. Wow! Sounds great. But what is word processing? Word processing is a way to transform ideas into written communication, quickly and accurately through the use of automated equipment operated by skilled people using revised office procedures.
Revised office procedures. That's a funny term, right?
Like you or me, or like Joanne here. At first, it sounds spooky, but as you learn more about it, you realize that it simply combines new procedures, new equipment, and newly trained people. Not just a bunch of expensive hardware spitting out words, but a whole new structure of organization and support involving dictation, editing, revision, proofreading, storage and retrieval, the creation of new documents from stored material, new human and working relationships, and new skills. In short, redesigning the office work, both typing and non-typing, for maximum productivity and satisfaction. So although word processing involves some fancy equipment, it starts with people. It can be as simple as Ada with her 10-year-old single station, or as comprehensive as this 53-station operation at First National Bank in Chicago, where the very office itself has been re-landscaped to accommodate the change. In short, word processing pushes out the horizons and organization and productivity of the office to keep pace with the modern world of change.
Let's show you exactly how it works. Remember the old-fashioned office? Someone gets an idea and wants it put into the works, dictates it to a secretary who does the shorthand bit if she's not busy with something else. She types the material, erases, blots out with white gunk, takes it back to the boss. He revises it. She retypes it. He revises. She retypes. Interruptions, etc. Until you look at any scholarly survey of traditional office methods, you find out that the average typist manages to plunk out 4 to 6 words per minute. Now, let's look at how word processing means shortcuts to save time and improve efficiency. The boss dictates, okay, by machine, or maybe by shorthand, or maybe, and this is happening more and more, right into a phone bank. Okay, this is what is called a text editing typewriter. As you can see, it has two
I
parts.
would love to type on one
The
of
part that
those.
looks like an electric typewriter with lots of extra keys. And this part is a console attached to the typewriter, which is where it all happens. Okay, this console records everything
Oh
I
my
type
gosh.
on a magnetic card. Some use tape cartridges or cassettes. This
Oh my
recording device means I can always type at my
Never knew
fastest
that.
speed. Because if I make an error, all I have to do is backspace and type over the error. The mistake is automatically corrected on the tape
How does
or
it do
card.
that?
It works
That's really
just like a
cool.
tape recorder. Now, after I have everything I want typed, recorded on the tape, I put a letterhead or good paper into my machine. I push this button, and out comes a perfect copy. Some machines have internal memories. Some machines use a display screen so you can see all your corrections. And some word processing equipment is hooked up to a computer. Of course, computers come in different sizes. A microcomputer like this, which stores and searches.
Microcomputer.
Medium-sized, like this installation at Blue Cross, which turns out as many as 4,000 personalized letters a day. Or a great big giant-sized computer like the one that serves the 42 word processing stations in the Wisconsin state government. But essentially, all word processing machines do the same things. They let you do any amount of correcting and revising quickly without retyping the whole document.
Still to this
Something
day,
you can
all
never
of
do
these
on an
apply.
ordinary typewriter. And they let you store the material you type so you can play it out again anytime you want. Or you can compose entirely new documents. Legal documents, for instance, from the paragraphs and data you've stored. Applications? There are as many of them as there are businesses and professions. Word processing can be used in medicine, science, law, banking, accounting, sales, education, engineering, with word processing specialists doing 2 to 3 times the work of an ordinary secretary.
What won't they think of next? They say we're going to have typing direct from the spoken word, electronic push-button mail.
Yes.
Word processing
yes.
is not the last word of communication concepts. But for now, the name of modern communication is word processing, bringing technology and modern management ideas to the office.
Oh my God. Literally dictation, what we have now, literally typing with their voice. I guess they predicted that, right? But that's really interesting. So I hope you all found that as well. Miss Maddie sent a message. She said, I used the Mag card machine in 1980. Oh my God. I would have loved to try anything that was presented in the video today. So I hope you all enjoyed. And please, if you have anything to say or comment on the video, please save it till the end. I really would appreciate that. Because it was interesting, you know? Didn't know about the cassettes, didn't know about, you know, how it actually like you erase or backspace to delete that, you know, letter or whatever. That was pretty neat. So, Pages, our app, you know, our modern day version of our word processing is Apple's built-in word processing application. Start with a template to instantly create any type of document that you want, or use a blank document and make your own design. Add any type of file really to customize your document even further and take your creation to new heights. So again, we covered notes last week, so it's kind of like draft-ish app, just getting your ideas on, you know, into your, you know, on your device and your app. But Pages is where you can really, you know, jazz it up and really make the document your own. You can draw and annotate using your finger. Of course, you can collaborate with others like Freeform. Also with notes as well, you can collaborate with others on the document if you'd like. There are many advanced tools. As the first word processing video had mentioned that you're able to utilize once you get used to using the app. You can, of course, sync your documents with iCloud to access them on all of your Apple devices. So again, you go to settings, your name, iCloud, show all, and make sure Pages is turned on so you can access it on all of your Apple devices. And last but not least, you can, of course, send and print and share copies of your work and a lot more features. Make sure your iPad is, of course, updated to the latest version. With the latest version of the iPad operating system, you get access to the latest features. So just to go over again, if you want to make sure you're synced across all of your devices, let's say you have an iPhone and an iPad, you go to your name, you hit iCloud on the right, and then you tap show all. Once you tap show all, you'll look for pages, and you see mine is here at the bottom right here, and it's turned on. Again, and also make sure your iPad is updated to the latest software. We'll be doing that session in a couple of weeks, but general software update. And again, make sure your iPad is up to date to the latest version, which is 17.1.2. Okay. But yes, make sure first, we got to make sure that the Pages app is downloaded on your iPad. It is Apple's built-in app, but it's not automatically downloaded on all Apple devices. Sometimes it is, I'm not sure of that, but just to check, if it is, of course, because it's an app, we're gonna go to the App Store, all right? When you're in the App Store, we're gonna hit search, which already came up, and make sure at the top you hit Games, App Stories, and More, the search bar, and type in Pages. You type in Pages and enter. You see it's, again, Pages documents that stand apart right here at the top right. So it's this app. And this is what the icon looks like for the Pages app as well. And you can see, when you try to download any app or look up any app in the App Store, you will get all this information right here, like similar apps, information, reviews, previews. So look, this is what, your documents could look like if you really get the hang of this app. And I think that's, like great. Like, these look amazing. So, one day maybe I'll learn to create something like that, but we, just got to get started somewhere, right? But it's good to dream and see what can be accomplished, right? Because you can put anything or do anything that you put your mind to, right? But yeah, make sure you get the app, make sure you download, install, verify your Apple ID information, and download the app. And once you do, again, you're able to open the Pages app. When you open the Pages app, or any app for the first time, when you update your iPad or when you first download the app, it will say what's the newest features. So this is what your screen will look like getting started in Pages. So this is an older screenshot. So this was new at the time this year, around in March. So this year, the collaboration, the templates, a lot of the templates, the formatting options, those were all improved upon iPadOS 16. So now we're on 17. So again, make sure that you are updated to the latest version to get access to the latest features. But you'll just hit continue, and you'll get to now the home screen. So again, we're still getting started with the Pages app, and now we're on the home screen. Okay, on the left-hand side is going to be, again, like your menu, so you can access, your documents from the recents, from the shared, if it's on your iPad or if it's on any other apps, for example. And you can either expand or minimize this menu right here using the top left square icon you see, that little icon that's on like Mail app and the Notes app, etc. Okay, but if you want to start a new document, all you do is tap on the plus button right here to create a new document. Of course, you see all of your recent documents here at the bottom, or in the middle, I should say. But if you tap on the plus button, you will then create a new document. So again, I go into the Pages app, and I was working on something from before. But again, this is what your home screen of the Pages app, this is what it will look like. And you create a new document by what? Tapping the plus button here in the middle. Let's say you create a new document. And when you hit the plus button, it says choose a template. So of course you're gonna choose, let's see, from over 90 Apple Designs templates to instantly create. And these are just some ideas: reports, digital books, resumes, cards, posters, and more. The world is your oyster, right? So you can choose. Again, as you can see, there are many, 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 many options. Like even some miscellaneous like invoices, brochures, business cards, envelopes, cards, anything you want to create. It's right here, and it's just all about testing it out. But for today, for just to start off real basic, these are literally, there's an option called basic, so you can have um, a blank document, a note-taking document. I will do just a regular blank document. And once you select it, now you're actually starting to create your pages document, right? So again, when you open the template and start creating your document, this is what your screen will look like. You'll have the keyboard up and you'll have this toolbar at the top with several different options. And it's all about exploring what each one does. But again, I'm just going to do an overview of what each button does, okay? So again, creating a document, the navigation bar, the toolbar at the top is how you're going to, again, add tables, charts, shapes, photos, videos. And that's how you're able to share your document, rename your document, etc. So that's what we're going to go over today in the Pages app. And again, just show some different things. So first up really is the document button. So you notice it kind of looks like when you're working in a free form. The title right here, I want to eventually end up changing that title, right? So you can rename your document, you can export your document, and then you can print your document among other options as well. So again, if I go into my Pages app, this is my third blank document. It says blank 3 at the top left, right? But I'm going to rename it. So I tap, and you'll see some options, including rename. So I'll just name this practice, but you can name this anything you'd like. So there you go, practice. And again, there are other features as well. Again, you can print this document if you want. You can export it, like sending it as a PDF, and some other options as well. You can move the document. Like you can add it to your files on your iPad, for example. And there are some options here as well. You can set a password for the document if you'd like, but essentially the one I would use the most is to export it or to rename the document when I first start. Okay, so that is just the document button. So some information, this is a Pages document, it's about 88 kilobytes. So it's just some general document information there. So that is the first button that I would look at. The next one to the left of it is the layout button. You can change the document layout using this button. So you can have 2-page view. You can have 2 pages if you want. Like when I make a second page right here, I can have 2-page view, or I can turn that off. I can hide the word count. I can hide this ruler at the top. I can hide comments. So I would use it for the 2-page view, but I wouldn't really mess around with anything else myself, unless I had a need for them. But essentially, this is like the layout button. You can change the layout of how you see the document, okay? The next button, again, now we're going just to the right, okay? The next button is the table button we're gonna cover today. So just like in notes, you can add a customizable table just by hitting the table button. Again, it's the second icon in the middle, and it looks like a table. So when I do that, look, there are many options. Like I guess for the colors, I can choose any colored table that I want. Let's go with I like this green. So let's do this kind of table. And look, I just added a table to my document. And there are many, many uses for a table, right? So let's see. You double tap to access each cell. That's what, in Excel or spreadsheets, this is, a cell for each box in the table. So for example, folks make tables to organize information like name, phone number, right? We're just, again, adding things to our table, again, just to show. email, address, right? Oops, order address, right? So that's an example of what you would put in a table, right? You see in the table, there are, some different options. Again, I haven't fully explored everything in this app yet, so I'm kind of looking at it as you guys are seeing it as well, but I see that these are several little buttons. You see on the left-hand side, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a little dot button here. Doesn't do anything per se, but if I hit the bottom one, I can add a row, right? And then if I look at these 2-line button right here on the right, I can add a column, as many columns as I want as well. So I think that's pretty neat. You can create a table for, again, pretty much anything that you would like, okay? So that's just, again, an example. You can also add a customizable graph if you need to. So if you have some, quantitative data and you needed to put it on a graph, you can add a graph if you want. So it's the middle, straight in the middle, this button right here, you can add a 2D graph. And you see there are many different graphs, like a histogram, a bar graph, a line graph, a pie chart, a bar graph. You can do a 3D one, which I think is pretty neat. And there's something here called interactive, which again, I'm looking at. It's pretty cool to see what different options there are, but let's do a 2D one. Let's say we just do a simple one like that. And look, I can create a table and I can edit like the key if I want, edit data. Wow, so I'm gonna name this US. I'm gonna rename this one Canada. Again, I'm just messing around, seeing what happens. Look, now US, Canada, and then can I add a title? Let's see, edit data. Can I add a title to this? Let me see. If I hit this gear button right here, nope. Then just playing around with it. I could probably add a title here at the top. Edit data, 50. Again, you're not going to get everything the first time that you check it out, but it's just good to look and see what's available and what's there and to see if it would be helpful, okay? But that's a 2D chart. Let's do a 3D bar graph. Oh, that's pretty neat, right? Yeah, I can edit the data if I wanted to. That's a 3D graph. And then let's look at an interactive graph. We put it here. Interactive. Oops. Modifications aren't in sync. Choose which option to keep. Never seen that before. Again, when you're just trying things out, some things may happen. But let's start off again fresh. Yes, this is the chart. So you can add a chart with different options and make it as interactive or a 2D or a 3D chart as well. So again, we're just going through the different options. The next one is the shapes button. You can add a variety of shapes and objects to your document. So again, we're just going from the left to the right. If I hit the objects button, look, there are many options like, text, geometry, objects, animals, nature. Again, similar ones from the free format. You can even hit the magnifying glass and search for them. But look, I can add this graphic here. And I can change like the color of it if I want. I'll show you this button in a second, but that's like the formatting button. I can add a shadow if I wanted to. Make it less opaque, change the color. I can add a border. So again, I can add shapes. Let's add a car right here. I can make it bigger. I can move it around, make it smaller. I can put it in the little metal. I think that's pretty neat, right? So just that's just you're able to add shapes and objects and change like the color, add a border, and just again just spice up your document basically, right? So the next button after that one is the files button. You can add photos, videos, audio, link, drawing. So again, lots of creative tools available. If I go down here and then hit the files button, again, I can add a photo or a video. So if I do that, let me like add this flyer, for example, or flyer for a book club. I can add it in my pages document if I want. I can take a picture, I can record audio, like I can literally record myself speaking if I want to. I can add a drawing. Look at that. You know, they're all the drawing tools at the bottom, so I can even draw on this document if I want to. And we know these drawing tools, we can edit them and change the color. If I tap on each one, I can make it like this line thicker, for example, or less opaque or more opaque. You can even draw in your document as well. Yeah, different color, different shapes. Just lots to have fun with, right? So I'm gonna hit done and there goes my drawing on it as well. And then look, even there's an equation button. I can add an equation if I want to. Maybe if I became a math teacher, I would need to use this, but let's say I want to take the integral. Let me see what happens. Oh, there's the option from 0 of x dx. Who knows this answer, by the way? X squared over 2. But look, I can insert an equation if I want. That's really neat if I want. So here again, you can add an image gallery too. Look, if I hit the plus button, choose photo, and I choose multiple pictures. So like what I went over today. If I select multiple pictures, look, I can literally hit the arrow and I can go through each and every picture that I added, right? And I can even caption them as well at the bottom. So again, this files button, there's many different options available to you that you can utilize when using this app, okay? So the next button after that is the share button. You can, of course, share and collaborate with others. So if you wanted someone else to work on this document with me, I can hit the share button here in the Pages app. And look, I can invite or collaborate with others. Again, they've got to have the Pages app, so an Apple device. But I can export and send this to someone as a PDF. I can print, put it through mail, etc. as a Pages document. So that's, you can share, edit, and collaborate with others with the share button. Of course, the good old undo button, you can undo your work if I want to. So you see how I added that image library last, right? If I hit undo, you see I can, when I was moving it, I can undo everything. I can even undo this equation where I moved it. So that's the good old undo button, so that you can undo your work if you need to. Next is the arrow should be to the right some more, is the formatting button. You can change the paragraph style or the font or the text color if you want. So look, I'm here typing in my document, right? And look, I can type in hello. And then if I wanted to change or do the next line differently, I hit this formatting option. I can make this a title if I want to instead. I can change the font. Let's see, to this font right here. I can make this italicized and underlined. So look, hello in that font, which is pretty neat. I can change the size. So first I have to select it, right? And then I can go here and change the size, so make it bigger. I can even, again, change the text color. So let's make it purple. So cool, right? I can center it in my documents. by using these options, or right align it, center it. And there, of course, there are some other options as well, but those are the main ones that I use here at the top. I can change, let's say I want this at red, or heading 3, heading 2, caption, body. I can change it to any kind of style that I want. Okay. The next button after that, the formatting button, is the more button. Again, there is some additional features as well, like you can find. If I wanted to find where I wrote hello in here, you see I wrote it here, and I wrote it down here, for example. If I hit the more button, I can see these other advanced options, but I would really only use the find one. But let's see what presenter mode says. Presenter mode displays body text only. Text boxes, table shapes. That's pretty neat. So only the text will show in presenter mode. So I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, really find and is the one I would use the most. But it's pretty easy to just skim through your document because you're just using your finger to navigate between the different options. The last button in the Pages app is the Edit and View button. You can switch between Edit and View mode. So you see right now I'm able to like edit my words and add things. But let's say I just wanted to view it. At the very top right, this is the view option. You see, I'm just viewing it. I cannot make edits or anything, but I can interact with the document and read it. And I can switch between edit and view mode. You see, edit, view mode, edit mode, view mode. So yeah, again, the toolbar at the top allows you to, again, add in, change the layout. You can add tables, you can add graphs, you can add shapes and objects, you can add files and, like photos or videos or even equations or drawings if you'd like. You can share or collaborate with others on a document. You can undo the work that you're doing on a document, change any of the style of the text or even the objects with the formatting button. You can find things in a document or find text in a document as well and change between the view mode and the edit mode, okay? So hopefully that was just a good introduction of what each button means, and it's just, again, to experiment with what is available to you. So now we'll have our interactive portion. Anyone that wants to try it out with us, I'd love to see, and just to play around and see what you can do on it and answer any questions that you may have. So I hope today was useful for you all. Let me see through the chat. Oh, yes. So I would love to answer any questions you may have, but I also have some questions here for you guys to answer as well, and love to appreciate to hear your answers. What is one new fact that you learned today? What is your favorite feature in the Pages app that we went over today? What can you use the Pages app for? Like you personally, what would you use it for? And how can, again, word processing apps can improve our daily life? So I do see we have one hand up, Brenda, but I do see we have 2 chats, so I'm going to address those chats first really quick. Is there a template for organizational charts? I'm not sure what organizational chart means, but when I hit the create button and open a new template, let me see what's available. Letters, resumes, flyers and posters, newsletters, cards, envelopes, business cards, miscellaneous. I think for charts per se, I would utilize like the table or the different charts feature in the actual page that your document that you're working on. But there is a lot of different templates available that maybe already have some of those elements in there as well, but nothing wrong with starting off a fresh one, right? And then Teresa said, did I just see something you can click on to record in your Pages app? Yes, when you're in the Pages app, you saw when I was doing like the files button. Let me go back to this option document really quick. I'm trying to open it. Yeah. You see when I hit the files and video, or basically files button, there is a record audio option. So if I wanted to record a voiceover or something or a summary before the person reads the document, you can add audio into your Pages document. So I think that's a really neat feature. So I hope that answered your questions. I'll go through these hands to see what you guys may answered or to explore. Love to do that. First up is Brenda. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
I'm good, Alex. I'm good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, I'd like to use the Pages app for my presentation, for the attendance award. I worked on it a little bit over the weekend, but I was missing some steps. So I'm hoping that, you can help me with what I missed out or what I wasn't doing correctly. Um, yeah, so I wanted to do my gratitude quotes, that I started, and I'd like to do it in Pages.
Okay, yeah. So your quotes, not your poem, right?
I'm the
Yeah,
well, yeah, well, well, can I
yeah.
change it
Well, change it to what?
to do the gratitude information that I started?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, what we did in notes, I mean, we have the poem, right? So are you talking about the poem or the quotes, Brenda? Because it doesn't, because I mean, for our event, it's going to be a poem, right? But
It's gonna be a
for,
poem.
yeah,
Okay,
yes. So yeah, that's why last week we went over, and especially on Friday we went over how to like write a poem or some basic tips, so that way, yeah, everyone's gonna be formatted like that. But one thing I did
okay.
want to show you because of you saying that, and to remind everyone, because of course I'll be working with those individually, of course. But when you're in the Notes app,
Yeah.
when you hit the share button, and this is the poem that we wrote on Friday, it says this option to open in Pages. So once you have your
Oh,
draft written
okay.
out, you can then open it in Pages, so you don't have to retype it, and that way you can edit it. So that's why I had asked everyone that did that to write their draft in Notes, so that way when we work on it together, that way it'll already have it preset in some way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. But I hope today, going over these different features, I hope it gave you some ideas too, right?
Yeah, it did. It did. Okay, well, I'll do that. I didn't know. I mean, well, I probably wasn't paying attention, but okay, I started in Freeform, so I can go to Freeform and send it over to my Pages. So I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, any app, it's very easy to transfer things over. But yeah, that's from you. I hope you're talking about your Notes app because it's in your
Right,
notes,
yeah,
so
the
that way
notes.
you can
Right,
go
right.
onto
It
your
was in the
Pages app. Okay.
okay, okay.
Is that all, Brenda?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, okay. I hope you enjoyed today. And in that video, I saw you chuckling a little bit. We were watching that.
Yeah, you know why? Because when I was working in the government, I was a
Uh-huh.
secretary. We didn't have word processor. I used an IBM typewriter. It had the little element. It was a little ball, but it was called an
Mm-hmm.
element. And we had to type letters perfectly. And then I had to type personnel action forms on a typewriter,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to be perfect. We didn't have, the word processing feature back then. Iman said that was back in ancient times. It sure was. So yeah,
Mm.
I remember having to type letters perfectly. And then I worked with architects and I had to type specifications perfectly. And I didn't have a word processing document to use to do that as well. So yeah, I remember those days.
Oh yes, there's a something new for me to look at and learn as well. So
Yeah,
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
yes, I did. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, Brenda. Let us know if you need anything else. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Next up is Teresa. Hi, Teresa. How are you?
Hello, Alex. I'm well. I would like to share my screen and
Yeah.
I think basically
Mhm.
right now, get you to show me, can I share my screen? It didn't come up.
Yes, just to basically just to play around and experiment with different things, right?
No, hold on. Can you share just a minute and say only the host can share in this meeting?
Yes, I have to make you post, so go ahead and do that, Teresa.
Oh, now?
Go ahead,
Okay.
yes, go ahead and share your screen, but we're just gonna be just exploring the Pages app, right?
Okay, I clicked on share screen.
Yeah, hit share content, then hit screen.
Okay.
And then towards the bottom, it'll say start broadcast. Go ahead and tap on that.
Yeah. Counting down.
Mm-hmm.
8.
Yeah, now tap on the left or right hand side to get back to Zoom. And then let's go to the Pages app.
Okay.
Do you have a TV on or something on in the background, Teresa?
Writing down. I didn't even realize it was up. Okay, you see my page, right?
Yes, I see you have many. I see you have many or have used it many different times. It's lovely to see.
Like where I have blank layout number 3, I like to erase that, get it off the screen 1 and 2.
Okay, that's really easy. So do you see where it says this select at the top?
Yes.
Yes, hit select.
Okay.
And then tap on each one.
Okay.
And
okay,
then,
I can do.
And yes, and then so first, can you move the zoom box to the right? Yeah, so yeah, all the way to the right, so you can minimize, or left. It doesn't really matter. You can minimize it. Yeah, hit select again, and then choose the ones that you want to delete, and then you see delete at the bottom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's how you can get rid of multiple ones at the same time. Okay.
Okay, now let me go with that. Okay, Alex, thanks.
Do you mind just trying some things out, just to see what what may be new to you?
Okay.
So yeah, how do you start a new document?
Set the plus.
Mm-hmm. And then you can choose any template you want. So you could do a blank one, or you can just to test some things out. But there are many different options. So go ahead and pick a template really quick.
And do a blank one.
Okay. Good. So I like this format too because they have the pages on the left-hand side. So that one said layout. So what would you like to add? Do you want to add tag? Just want to type some things out, or do you want to add a table or a chart? What would you like to do?
If I could type something out, so
yes,
that
you double tap.
Okay. Okay, I did. You see, nothing happens. Should I be double tapping on the thing on the side? Where should I be double tapping at?
Let me try to do the same thing. It said blank layout, so let me see. Because I didn't explore that one fully myself. Yes. Let me see what happens. This is good again because this is good to experiment to see the difference. Let's see. Page templates. This is good. So this is, I think, for the layout option, I'm not able to directly tap or enter in text in that way. I think when the layout option is to like a more visual kind of creation. So what I think you should do is, Teresa, can you go back to create? Like hit the plus button for me. And then do you see where it just says blank under basic?
Yes.
Go ahead and tap on that. And then there you go. So I'll explore that option too, because I like how it's formatted, but I think that's maybe a more image focused document. I guess this is, I guess, a more text focused document, but
Okay.
yes.
All right, I
Um,
will to go in here and do some stuff because I need to clean up some stuff so I can follow what I'm doing. I got all this crap all over the place, as you can see.
oh no, you got a lot of practice. So that's not a crap. That's practice, and that's experience right there. So don't ever put your work down, because you it took some work to get all this stuff on here, right?
All right, you see what I just put up on the screen, and you see it sideways. How do I turn that around?
Um, I well double. So first, what you got to do is you got to hit edit, because you're in view mode, right? So you got to hit edit, and then tap the image for me. Do you see? Uh-huh. Let's see. Hmm. Usually there would be like, there you go. You use
Use
two fingers. Use two fingers, and you put them you move them in a circle manner. So with like two fingers, that's how you would move the image around.
I did.
There you go.
Uh,
So whatever method that you did to move it,
I did. But
yes. So again, it's
oh, okay, got it. I got it, Alex.
yeah, yes. I was testing it. I'm trying to test it out myself, so that way we can know how to do that too. So you do that by, let's see.
Okay, I
How
got
did,
it.
yes, how did you rotate it, Teresa? Oh, I see. You use two. I use two fingers. I have my pointer finger on one and my thumb on the other, and it's like moving like your two fingers on each side of the image, and you're just basically rotating it.
Brenda's question, I got a lot from that and from the rest of the session, and cleaning up things. And I have enough from what you taught for me to go back in here and clean up some of this stuff. Thank you very much. Thanks for allowing me to share my screen.
Oh,
Okay.
no problem, Teresa. Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for sharing, and thanks for doing such a great job. Okay.
All right then. Bye. Let me get.
Yep. Thank you, Teresa. And then next up is Anne. Hey, Anne, how are you?
I'm a little confused because I was working on another project, but um I've been trying to do a children's book, and you gave me some tips today that I think I can put to use. And
Mm-hmm.
will this session be on? Because I couldn't write any notes today. My hand is back there acting stupid. So is this going to be on Wild Tech's YouTube channel?
Yeah, yes, Anne. We're if in the daily email on Friday, we're going to be doing this again, but just focusing on, of course, to transferring and working with with the poems. But today was more just basics, and just learning how to navigate, the when you're in the document, so you know what you can add and what you can create. And I think
Okay.
it's, yes, they have a lot of different book templates as well, as you saw right here.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
it's whatever one you'd like, that way you could already get started, or have some ideas. So it's there are many uses, as you can see: cards, envelopes, certificates, miscellaneous things. There's a lot of different things you can do in the pages.
And you can use the microphone in some of them, right?
If you're referring to using dictation to type things out, then yes. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
that's anywhere. I mean, as long as you're
Oh,
typing in
okay.
text, anywhere on your iPad, you can use dictation if you'd like.
Again, you always are introducing something that makes people want to be on this more than 1 hour a day. So I'm
Oh,
still, I'm still, I was fasting. I was fooling around with notes, and I was
mm-hmm,
just really kind of fooling around, and I made a list like of supplies I was gonna need, and then
mm-hmm.
then I made a list of the cake orders,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was just kind of fooling around. It may not have looked real great, but at least I was getting the gist of the whole thing.
Oh
So
no, yeah.
thank you for always introducing something that is going to make life a little bit simpler and easier.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Anne. And it's it's nice to hear that you have been using the Notes app. And it's not supposed to be pretty. It's literally just like getting the stuff out of your head, and that's the most important. You cannot,
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to just not write anything down like ever. Like for me, like day to day, I have to write what I'm doing. Otherwise, you're not organized, or you might forget something because again, it's just around in your head. And that's why it's good to write things down. So once you have it typed down in notes, that way you can really, edit it and fix it up. And that way you're able to transfer it to something more advanced, like again, pages or anything really to just get your mind and your ideas started, right?
And lately I seem to be a little slow catching on to stuff, so uh, I'm trying
Oh,
to
oh no,
get
and
my,
don't say that. No, you got on today and you asked the question, you said, what you had to say and all that. So, just getting on is half the battle. So you got to give yourself on the pat in the back for that.
well,
Okay,
that's
Anne?
true. Okay, and thank you again for being a bright spot in my day.
Oh, no, no problem. Thank you for asking such great questions, you and everyone else that has. And it's so much fun just interacting and learning because again, we're all learning. And even if, some have years versus others, we're technology is always changing. So it's okay. We're all just getting there and we're all learning together. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No problem, Anne. Thanks so much for sharing. Next up is Gracie. Hi, Gracie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Well,
Good.
this
I love your toucan.
you know what to get.
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah,
How's
but
it going? How's it going?
good, good. I still got my sleepy face on though. I can't
Oh,
wake up.
I can't. Oh, I couldn't tell, Gracie.
But this can be helpful to me. But I've got to keep watching it. As I explained to you,
Mm-hmm.
each time I
Mm-hmm.
watch it, I can pick up on something I couldn't hold on to.
Yes.
So I can always use this for like groceries because I write them on little pieces of paper and they don't, but I can write
Mm-hmm.
this and make a copy and put on my refrigerator. And then all I
Mm-hmm.
have to do is just check off the things I need. So this is going to help me with my grocery list.
Oh, yes. That's
What
that's a
I
great use.
need, what I don't
Uh-huh.
need, and you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's a great use of the app. I mean, if
Mhm,
groceries, I love, man, I cook. I mean, I cook every day. That's how I eat, right? So I have to make a grocery list. So for something that important, I would maybe want to put it in pages, maybe little images or,
mhm,
because you
mhm,
say you put on your
mhm.
fridge, you can really
Right.
have fun with it, right? So,
Mhm, mhm.
you can go as you can just use the notes for groceries or
Right.
just put it there. But if you want to jazz it up or really,
Mhm.
customize it and, make it your own and something nice to look at,
Yeah, I
this is,
want to
what you
customize
can
this
do.
one because sometimes I shop and I don't, it's not a necessity. You just put it on there and then you get it home and you say, no, why did I buy that? I'm not going to make that now. So I'm going to put on there important, not important, stuff like that. So I won't
Yes.
just go in there and buy and, I'll buy what is really necessary. Then if I want to buy a couple of extra things, I will. But I want to know if
Hmm.
it's something I'm cooking, or is it just something I want on the shelf? So I'm going to kind of customize it in that way. So it'll guide me to not go in there and just buy because I see, you know?
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember when we
Mm-hmm.
did that lunch club together when we talked about the grocery list and some tips going to the store. So this would definitely help out. And but just because you gave that idea, Grace, I just want to show, something you can, take all the things that I want, but this is just what I think when you
This
say
weekend will be
grocery list.
have
So
fish.
so what I would do if I wanted to jazz it up, you know, I'm just in a blank document, right? So here. So you know, you can add images, right, to
Mhm.
your document. So what I want to do is, let's see. Food, fruits, and vegetable. Cartoon, something. I'm just looking for different images.
Mhm.
Let me think, look, see what's good here. Something a little opaque. Again, it's up to you what you like to put. But again, this is just some ideas. Um, let's see. You see, there's
Yeah.
many different images
I
that
like
you
that
can.
one right up there where you saw the melon and cut in half.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Let's
nice.
see. How can you? Um, yeah, something like this. I know obviously
Mm-hmm.
there's a little watermark on it, so I would try to find the image without a watermark. But this is
Okay.
just an example. So I'm going to save this to my photos. So now it's in my photos app, right? So
Mm-hmm.
going back to my pages app, I'm going to look for that image that I just downloaded, right? So I
Okay.
tap and insert it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to format the picture. First, I'm going to zoom out a little. Again, I'm pinching in and out. I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to make it so that this image is kind of like a background, right? Something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So let me zoom out again. Let me make sure I get the entire, doesn't have to be the entire page because it is just just a blank document. So it's kind
Right.
of like everlasting. So the layout is kind of more than one page, it's just one page. Well, look, so now I have this part right here. And then if I tap on the image, you see again, there are different options. I was trying to look for another option. Let me see. There you go. You see, this is the formatting button. When you're like in text or anything really, this formatting button, I can like add a border if I want to, but there's no, it's too big for that, right? But I can
Right.
arrange it. Let's see, arrange. I'm gonna, let's see, all these different options. Image, move to front, move to back. So this is all the way in the back, right? So if I add, let's say I add going here to the shapes, I add my text. And look, I can center it if I want. Tap to enter text. Let me go to the formatting option. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I can make it, I could fill it, right?
Yeah.
I can fill it. I can make this a little smaller, for example. Double tap. Alex's grocery list,
Mm-hmm.
for example. Let me select all the text. Select all. Let me make this a bigger font. Let me, let's see, text. Underline it. Something like that, a little image. Oh, let me just move it right here. And then let me add some more text. So there's a text box option, but there's also just regularly typing as well. So if I wanted to do this, maybe I'll delete this text and then let's make it a list, bullets and lists. Let me get a numbered list. Oh, look, this one says image.
Yeah, number,
list.
yes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let me make it way bigger. It's too small.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make it a different color. Let's have fun with it. I like blue. It's one of my favorite colors. There you go. And then last thing, let me update the font. Let me make it fun. Let's do ooh, let's do this. all these different fonts. You see, it's a lot to have fun with.
Right?
I like this
Yeah.
one. I like this one. So
Yeah.
this, my grocery list, it's apples. That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know what I can do. I can make this one text color, make this one red because this is apples.
Both. Yeah.
Let me do the next color. Let me see if I can do this. Let me make this orange. Yes, I can. Oranges.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me make this one yellow again.
Bananas. Yeah.
Yellow, yeah. And it's still visible, even though it's yellow, it's still pretty visible, right? And then let's do green for cucumber. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like you can add different objects. Like let me search for food. And then look, there's apple.
Mm-hmm.
Do that, make it real small if I want to.
Yeah.
Put it there. I can even again go back to my format and make this red. Maybe add a shadow if I want to. Maybe add a border. Look, you can just go to town.
You're getting too
apples.
fancy.
And
Yeah,
so you can add that.
Yeah.
All these different options.
Yeah.
Like you can even record like yourself saying, like, I don't know, if you're sharing this with someone, like if you're sharing this, let's say for example in Aid, right, and you give them this grocery list, you can put like any comments, like you can hit record audio and like add any comments or something.
Okay.
Again, you can add chart, like a little table. Like, let me see if I can add a little mini table just in here. Oh, yes, you can. That's pretty neat. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. You can edit the table, add it, like requirements or something. Grocery, like, let me type in grocery store. Look, even a freaking basket. Like,
Grocery shop. Yeah.
like isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Let's make this green. So as again, just with it, just 5 minutes. That was about 5 minutes, right? You can make a pretty cute little list right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that one.
So that was just, yeah. It's just you notice really, besides typing and stuff, I used all the different options at the top just to what I wanted to add. So again, just with the simple things like downloaded images and basically using what we learned in our modules, you can really edit and move and create some beautiful things and not a lot of time, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna work on it, and I'll let you see my progress. I'll email it to you if I can get it where I'm happy with it.
Okay, no problem. And if we have some, extra time on Friday, I would love to, see that and help out as well. Because this is still the, the Pages app, and we're still learning. So I would love to see your progress on that. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Well, thanks so much.
Thank
Gracie.
you.
No problem. Any other questions? Any other comments? Any concerns? Anything before we end for today? Thank you all so much for getting on to today's session. We watched a great videos and just what word processing apps are, and just a little history. It's nice to see where it was like, and to be thankful that we're so advanced now that we can create documents in minutes and make something beautiful and replicable and copyable and shareable, all that good stuff. So does anybody else have any questions or comments or concerns about today's session, presentation, or any last answers to the questions that you guys see on the screen? Any last thoughts? Please raise your hand if you do. We have our 12 o'clock session with Ron talking about sports. So please make sure you guys come on and check that out. And then today at 1:30, we have Zion presenting Module 4, learning about applications, different apps on your iPad, like FaceTime, Apple Music, contacts, and more. So please make sure you all come on for those sessions as well. And every day, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 1:30 p.m., we have an informational, fun, interactive session, that is, for you all. So please make sure you take advantage of all the different Zoom sessions that we have. We have Teresa and then Mr. Gary, and then we'll end for today for our break. Hi, Teresa, how's it going?
Hi, that was an absolute great session. I learned so much about that app. And one thing it does is as we get older, one way to preserve the mind is to, or the brain is to learn new things. And I things today as I do every day, but this is impactful because I can use it in activities that I already participate in, especially when I have to do the lead or the presentation. And I tell you, I thank you so much. This is priceless. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I really appreciate your kind words, and I always learn something new. Like when I work with you all, and it's okay to be stuck because again, technology is always changing, and there are so many different nuances that I'm still wrapping my head around to make the process of using these different apps as easy and as simple as possible. So. I'm glad that it was helpful, and it was helpful for me as well. And I really appreciate that feedback and knowing that it's helpful. I love that. And thanks so much. Mr. Gary, you had a question or comment?
Yes. The program, I mean, just talking about was interesting. It reminded me of one of the Microsoft programs like that. I think it was Excel
Word.
or something like that.
Yeah, Word, Excel. It's the same kind. Yeah, it's basically.
Because I did a lot of that. I did a lot of that when I was in test college, full time for computer repair, and I did a lot of that too.
Yes, sir. I've used Microsoft Word, Excel, and all PowerPoint. I've used that all my life, so it's it's not too different than what I learned on my laptop and my computer, but it's just a handheld version that's hopefully that you saw in today's session was pretty easy to navigate, or even sometimes easier to navigate than the computer, because there's only so much space, so they have to be really smart with how they lay out everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's very, very, like I say, very educational and good to know. And all you did was, you refreshed me on what I had done in the past when I was in college, full time doing that, and through the semesters that I went through. And so I wanted to just bring that up to let you know it's very interesting. And it's just an update of something similar and very new to me.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much.
Oh yes. I know. When you guys work, some of you may have worked with computers and wrote documents and made spreadsheets and all that stuff. So I hope it was kind of a refresher, but also new as well. It was the same feeling for me as well. So again, you can't get everything at one time or understand everything. It's really about just taking it bit by bit and just experimenting. You won't know or truly learn how to use really any app or anything on your iPad unless you try and experiment and review things that we go over, right? So again, thank you so much for those comments. I know others resonated with that as well. I know we said we had one last person. Denise, did you have something that would you like to respond to one of these questions?
Yeah. Hi, Alice. When Teresa taught us this, it was complicated for me. I couldn't really get it. And then we started the cookbook, and Bridget was telling us to do it on the pages. And I was like, oh, Lord. I went to her and I tried. I said, you know what? I just called her. I said, Bridget, can you show me how to do it? Because I don't know. It took me, she explained it didn't take no more than about 5 minutes. And I got it. And I started putting all my recipes on pages for the cookbook. So that's how I started, doing it and learning it. Yeah, she told me in 5 seconds. Look like, because she said you do it like this, Denise, and just touch that and do that, and go follow the cookbook. You know, we pulled up the cookbook part of it, and she said just follow what it say do, and bam, I got all my recipes in there. And she say, wow. I say, well, dang. But when Teresa was explaining to me, I could not get that thing. I was like, oh Lord. But
Oh,
yeah. But
I can understand because it is you know, there is a lot of technical, not jargon, but there is a lot of technical phrases that you can use when describing, you know, these
yeah,
word processing apps. So I tried to make it so that it was a little, you know, easier to understand, like in, you know, in just how to do it. It's not really much about the background part because you don't have to worry about how it's being done. You just have to worry on you know
yeah,
what how on
I,
what is being done on the
right.
actual process versus actually what's going on in the background, right? It's just about you once you, you know, I don't understand in the, you know, with the coding and all that stuff, you know, a little bit, but
Right.
no, the really, if you, as long as you know how to enter in the text and the images and the charts and any other type
Yeah,
of media that you want, as long as you know how to navigate the app, then it's pretty self-explanatory once you understand which each of those different features do.
yeah, and like you say, just keep playing around with it. You'll see more and more stuff pop up, and you're like, let me try that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if it don't work, you know, just delete it out and start over again until you
Yes.
know, until you start getting it. You
Yeah.
know,
Try again. You know, the
yeah.
effort really take you far. So, you know, just a few
Mm-hmm.
minutes a day. It doesn't have to be hours and hours, but a few minutes a day on certain things
Right.
you want to go over can really make a difference.
Uh-huh. That's right. But thank you for listening and letting me,
Oh,
you
oh
know,
yes, no, I'm glad that this was again a little easier to understand than may have done previously. Just literally bare bones. As long as you know how to do this, this, and this, you should be good to go.
yeah.
And thanks so much for
Mhm.
your sharing, Denise. And I hope you had a
Sure.
great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
No problem, no problem.
And
Um,
you read what I wrote. That's for you too. You need it. You need that hug.
oh, thank you, Denise. We all need them sometimes. So
Yeah, we do.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
so
thank
thank
you
you so
for
much for
listening.
sharing.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Sure. Okay.
yes.
Be blessed and safe. All right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. But yes, thank you so much for coming on to today's advanced session. Hopefully, you guys learned something new and new facts, something you know, again, completely brand new. That maybe some, but hopefully it was laid out where it was simple and easy to understand. Hopefully, you guys took some notes on some buttons. But again, just Denise said, hey, just try it out. Once you're in the app and you explore the different options, that's how you'll really learn and memorize and understand the different features that are available, not just in this app, but any of the apps that we go over. So again, we have Mr. Ronald at 12 o'clock for our lunch club. And at 1:30, we have Zion with module 4 on useful applications on your iPad. So again, make sure you guys come on in about 20-25 minutes for our lunch club, but it was a pleasure to present for you all today. Thanks so much for coming on.